Well, what's happening outside?
Yeah, like a fish stick's Dad. It's cold and getting colder. They're talking about snow.
Oh, it's the strangest thing I've ever seen. One of the papers called up just now and wanted to know if admissions were up.
Are they?
Oh, you bet.
You're kidding. By what percentage?
Well, by about 20%, but I didn't tell the reporter that.
Oh, my goodness, Georgia, why didn't they give you some help up here?
Well, everybody's busy, either in emergency or upstairs. You know, with this weather change, we have a lot of respiratory problems.
Yeah, I better get going. See you later, sweetheart.
You bet.
Oh, I'd love to be snowbound with you.
Oh, now listen, one more word out of you and I'll make you stand in a corner.
Okay, Mom.
You know, there's only one good thing about this weather.
Well, I can't imagine what it would be.
My brother hates cold weather, so wherever he is, hope he's out of it.
Oh.
We got to borrow that bamboo, mate. Yeah, well, there isn't much left here, Robert.
Yeah, well, hopefully Laura will come back with some more shortly.
Yeah, look, if she starts that stuff about her parents and what's coming down in Port Charles, let's change the subject.
Yeah, well, she's scared stiff and she has a right to be. I mean, what am I going to change the subject to? The weather, perhaps?
What's that?
Easy.
Oh, Flora. Hey, baby, you don't have to bring all this.
I just thought you'd get some more bamboo for the raft.
Yeah, look at you.
I'm all right. I'm fine, really.
No,
I feel fine.
You feel warm. Why don't you sit down? I'll make you some tea.
There isn't any time, Luke. We have to find some way to stop Mikkos before he destroys Port Charles.
Let's say we go and watch the car, Laura.
I'd say that you're trying to change the subject.
That's right.
Hey! That monkey. He's got my gun. You got it. Come on. Come here, you. Come on, you light finger
Come
shit.
out there and grab it. He's moving, quick.
Give us the gun. Wait.
Come on.
Things getting slipped. You crazy klepto.
He's jumping over
He's
there.
moving. Moving. To the left.
And this is your plan to deploy our military forces?
Yes, sir. I've placed our strongest arm in this part of the world.
I see.
For instance, I foresee the necessity of a tight military cordon around these 5 countries.
Interesting coincidence, General. These are the 5 countries controlled by our colleague, Max von Staudt.
Thus hardly making it a coincidence, sir.
What are you saying, Kaluga?
But a good military man is more than maps and weapons, sir. He's also an excellent observer.
Oh? And what have you observed, or have you heard something?
Nothing direct, you understand?
Are we talking about Max?
And his wife. I would be blind if I hadn't picked up on their attitude. I have seen a certain tension and concern from them regarding your negotiations with Ballantyne and Port Charles. With the von Staudts pull out,
May I suggest that you stick to your maps and weapons and leave the von Staudts to me? Good afternoon, General.
General, sir. Excuse me, ma'am.
Of course.
I won't be denied this time, Mikkos. I cannot approve of what you're doing to Port Charles. I demand to radio my 5 countries to tell them the mission has failed.
Hey! Are you crummy klepto? Get up and come back!
So much for that.
Pretty smart, monk.
Listen, if he drops that gun and the patrols find it, it's a definite bust.
Actually, I'm quite happy letting him keep the gun if he'll learn how to use it properly. I could probably use him when we get into Cassadine's compound.
Yeah, if you get into Cassadine's compound.
Hey, think positive. Of course we'll get in. Where's that layout of Tiffany?
Oh.
Can I see it, Robert?
Sure.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, well, we've come through tough before.
It'll be more than tough. It looks impossible. Look at this thing. It's got guards, it's got radar.
Yeah, don't forget there's an electronic combination to get into the control room. I hope Tiffany gets a chance to watch and try and learn what that combination is.
Yeah, you know, maybe if she was just watching while somebody was using it.
What, you mean to memorize it as well?
Yeah.
Well, it would appear that Mikkos is the only person that knows that combination. He's not about to share it with anybody.
Oh, there's got to be a way. Tiffany is a very clever girl.
I agree.
I hope she decides to put in another appearance up here before dark.
Yeah, me too.
You're right, we've got to settle our plans.
Robert, how many darts do you have in the stun gun?
2.
2?
2.
It's gonna have to be a damn good plan, pal.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be fast, too. Look, we've got to find some way to destroy that machine before it destroys Port Charles.
A drink before lunch?
No, thank you.
Perhaps later. I prefer not to lose my train of thought.
Max, my dear man, I owe you an apology. And, of course, to you as well, my dear. Please forgive my rudeness this morning. We're so close that for a moment I became impatient, insensitive to the priorities of my colleagues.
When you refused me communication with my countries?
Yes.
Well, it's as if Napoleon confessed before the populace that he had flaws, and warts as well.
Max, you urged caution. I apologize. I let my feelings get the better of me. If we succeed, and I know we will, it will be because you brought me back to reality. After all, time is on our side, and there's not any reason for one person to be hurt. It's totally unnecessary.
And Port Charles, New York? What happens there?
If Valentine takes a hard line, then obviously we bow out, temporarily.
Temporarily?
If we can't bring the world to understand by experiencing what is happening in Port Charles, then we must just rethink our position. Perhaps choose another location or a new method.
What you're saying is that no one in Port Charles or the world will be annihilated.
Unnecessary. We have the power. We can afford to wait.
Well, I must say, Mikkos, I'm relieved.
But I must beg your indulgence for more time.
How much more time?
I want to give the World Security Bureau and Mr. Ballantyne one more day to decide what it is they're going to do. To announce failure now might be too soon. To wait one more day can hurt no one. Don't you agree?
Sounds reasonable.
And Max, of course, you must contact your countries and tell them what we've decided.
And inform them the world will be brought to its knees without brute force.
Of course. Of course. Now, I have news. I want to share it only with you.
News?
You remember my telling you about the healing qualities in carbonic snow?
Yes, but you were never specific about that.
Ah, but now I can be. You will be utterly amazed at what you're going to see this afternoon.
This afternoon?
Yes, after lunch, you will be my guests for a tour of the plant. What we have discovered will revolutionize medical treatment.
I can hardly wait.
But please, don't tell any of the others about this. However, Max, you'll want to transmit this information to the countries you represent.
Thank you, Mikkos. It will reassure them.
Good. Then, our rift is healed.
Entirely.
Well, isn't this friendly? Yes, it is, isn't it?
Mikkos, is it true you gave Tiffany permission to go above?
Oh, her nagging became an annoyance.
Oh, Victor, please, I'm exhausted. Can't we just forget the stupid bag?
I can't understand why we can't find it. Are you sure we retrace your steps?
I'm almost sure. I don't know. We've got around in circles and circles and circles. The picture of the bag does not matter that much to me.
Really? I thought a woman's handbag always meant it. What'd you have in it?
Oh, come on, Victor. Come on, let's go back in. You know, Mikkos is going to get very upset if we're going to be late again. Come on.
Oh, why are you trembling?
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Why are you so nervous?
Victor, I'm just tired of going around on this island. Would you... Please.
We've only gone a short distance. Why don't you tell me what you're really feeling?
Oh, Victor, please.
There you go again, pulling away from me. Why don't you tell me what you're really hiding? Tell me what you had in the beach bag this morning.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Victor. I've been sick, you know that. And I've been very ravenous since I got over that fever. So this morning I got some food, and Alex came in, and she saw me and made some snide remark about it, and I don't know, it just kind of upset me. I'm sorry, Victor. I just haven't been myself. I'll be better soon, though. Oh, I missed you.
I'm sorry. He's a monkey.
Oh, Victor, don't you see? Don't you see?
I see, yes, I need some target practice.
Oh, yes, but the monkey took my beach bag. Oh, the monkey took it. Oh, come on, let's go. Oh.
find out. I want you to stay out of sight while we do that. Will you? Right up behind the waterfall, baby, okay? You know where that is? All right. Come on, let's go.
We don't have anybody to spare, but I'll call you back if somebody else comes in. Thanks. That was admissions.
Any slowdown?
Not a bit. Hi, Mr. Quartermain.
Oh, hi,
Oh, my dear, you don't sound good at all.
Well, as a matter of fact, I feel like hell. How about this ridiculous weather?
It's freaky, isn't it?
I wouldn't have left my fireplace today if I hadn't had an appointment for a checkup. I think I'm a little bit early. Maybe I'll have a cup of tea. Where's Rick?
I don't know. I can check for you. Rick is in his office. You know, he and Monica have really been swamped today. People with cardiac difficulties sometimes get in trouble when the weather gets like this. I'm glad you're seeing Rick.
I think you're right, Monica. I don't see how we can release William. Not at all.
Well, you know, he's going to be furious.
He is going to be even more furious if I release him and he comes down with pneumonia or something. This weather has really wreaked havoc with our patients. I had to admit the Miller baby this morning with pneumonia.
You know, I've been thinking about calling all my patients in the last year and just checking in on them.
I think that's a very good idea.
Okay, then you can tell me when I find the time to do it.
Come in.
Oh, sorry. Do you have a minute?
Just barely. This weather is, well, our patient load is going off the charts.
I wouldn't interrupt. Really, I wouldn't accept that the travel agent has got to know within the next 5 minutes. Dan was able to get the name of the Cassadines Island.
Great.
It's about 2 hours out of Athens by plane.
So I'm leaving tomorrow night, and Dan thought that I should make sure that you really wouldn't be able to leave with me.
Leslie, I have double-checked. There's no way I can even change half of the OR schedule. I just can't.
Rick, I can try my best to cover for you. There seems to be a problem.
Yeah, there is a problem. I don't want you doing anything dangerous. Got that?
Well, no, I wasn't going to. I was just going to sort of lie low and see if I could find out where he is, and then you join me as soon as you can.
Good.
My, this really is what, emergency?
Well, it's very, very complicated, Monica.
We think that the Cassadines may be able to lead us to Laura.
Oh? I don't want any confrontations of any kind.
I will do my very best to wait.
Thank you.
Excuse me, by any chance, is that a picture of the man you're talking about?
Oh, yes. His name is Mikkos Cassadine. He's the head of the Cassadine family. That's him standing on the island I'm trying to find.
Well, he certainly looks like a fascinating man.
Oh, that's right. He has so much magnetism, he can get people to follow him anywhere.
I'm terribly sorry, Mikkos.
It was my fault we're late. I'm very sorry.
No, but you're not at all late. In fact, you have exactly 20 seconds to spare. Thank you, Albert. And will you offer my dear brother and his lovely lady a drink? I think they need to catch their breath.
You look a little flushed, Tiffy. Did you find something exciting to do? Don't I always, Alex?
And how was your second breakfast?
It was absolutely delicious, thank you.
I'd be careful if I were you, Tiffy. Second breakfasts have the strangest way of showing up in the oddest places.
Well, how kind of you to be concerned, darling.
Why can't we find something else to discuss other than the merits of Tiffany's figure?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was rather interesting.
Well, I was feeling left out.
Oh, not with me, baby.
All right, I'll discuss something else. How's the weather in Port Charles, Mikkos?
On schedule.
And how is everything going in your plant?
Also on schedule.
Well, isn't that nice? But, you know, I'm curious about something. You never got back to us with the details on your healing process. Now, I might find it a little complicated to understand, but why don't you try me?
I'd rather answer your first question, Alex.
Victor, I forgot what that was.
As to why Tiffany and I were so rushed.
Well, I'm afraid I don't find that very interesting. So now, Mikkos, what does your healing process have to do with your ability to change the weather? And if you are working on healing living things, then why did your little demonstration of carbonic snow kill that plant?
Victor, tell us what did happen to Tiffany.
Tiffany was a victim of a theft.
When? This morning above ground?
Exactly.
Good Lord, with our security?
Well, why didn't you report it immediately, Tiffany?
Well, we are reporting it now. Darn, and I missed it. Tiffany, I'm never going to forgive you for going off without me.
No, you were with her, Victor. What'd you do about it?
Not at first.
Well, I went up to have a swim and get some sun, and of course I took my beach bag. And the first thing I knew, it was gone.
And then I joined Tiffany. We retraced the steps, but there was no sign of her bag.
Well, of course, no one took it. He probably left it and forgot it.
No, it was taken. I saw the thief, and Tiffany saw him with a bag.
Well, you gave chase.
Of course.
Even played a few shots at the fellow, but he eluded me and the bullets.
I think he was laughing as he made his escape.
Well, what did he look like?
Very small, but very quick, obviously.
Big ears, wasn't it? Was he eating a banana when he left? A banana?
I believe it was.
I don't get it.
Well, I believe Victor has just entertained us with a shaggy monkey story.
Oh, it was a monkey. Yes, dear, it was a monkey.
Very fast, and not made up, all true.
You told that very well, Victor. An excellent diversion.
Alex, please.
It almost made me forget about my family in Port Charles. Mikkos, with your permission, I would like to go back outside this afternoon and look for that little devil to get back my beach bag.
Permission granted.
Can I come too?
Yes, of course, Corinne.
Oh, thank you. Noel, you'll come? No, I don't think so.
Noel and I have some work to do. Communication with people on the outside. It's dreary stuff, but necessary.
Lunch. And please, Alex, no more shop talk.
By all means, Mikkos.
Yes.
Edward, I don't like the sound of that.
Well, I loathe it. Can't you talk to the weatherman, get him to do something about the weather?
I would love to. From the looks of it, we're going to have snow in September. Edward, I want to know exactly what I'm dealing with. I want a complete physical. I'd like you to change your clothes, and I'm going to do a treadmill test.
All right, whatever you say.
Oh, Edward, are you here for your checkup?
Well, as you can see.
Would you believe I have admitted 2 patients in the last half hour?
Thank you. Well, I just hope I don't have to add Edward to the list. I don't like the sound of his cough at all.
No, I don't either.
Maybe we ought to gear ourselves for extremely long hours so this mess is over.
Well, that's okay by me. I don't have anything to go home to.
Monica, I'm glad that we haven't had to have any personal confrontations. I think it's been very good for both of us.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
I am concerned about your son, however.
Well, he's fine.
Monica, he has a history of heart surgery. He is very susceptible to sudden changes in weather.
Oh, well, Rick, thank you very much for your concern, but I happen to be a doctor as well as a mother, and I am perfectly capable of taking care of my son. I think you should be concerned about finding your daughter and hoping that she's all right.
Whoever fired those shots off got away fast.
Laura's still in hiding?
I'll find out.
You know, Mr. Cassidy, you've got quite a setup here. I'm going to have to come up with a really nifty little plan to get out of this one. It's just a little bit more detailed. These rooms, here and here. I don't know. How is she?
It's okay. She's made herself a little lair back there. Kind of cute. She's going to sleep it off in the bushes.
Oh, well, I guess she overdid it a bit today, but I guess she wants to get out of there, too.
Yeah, she does. So do I. So I guess the raft is the first order of business. Let's get at it.
Do it.
Spooked me, those shots fired. Something ain't right, man. Something's not going right. Look at that.
Oh, God, don't shoot. It's just me. I don't have much time.
Okay, let's make it count then.
Okay, first question. Did you find my beach bag?
Laura put in the hut.
Good. Keep it there. Now, from now on, I'm going to have plenty of trouble ditching Victor. He wants to come up with me every time I come out.
Oh, great.
There is something happening downstairs. It seems like everybody's walking around with secrets and nobody trusts anybody else.
Can you be a little more specific?
No, not really. Not now. I don't have time. Victor was so nervous, though, that he was startled by some monkey, and he took 2 shots in his direction.
Well, that's what it was.
All right, well, look, if things are starting to move down there, as you say, we better get a plan together. A good one before we start to move against Mikkos.
Are we ready?
And
sound extremely eager.
Good. You'll be amazed and delighted by what you're going to see.
We're honored you want to share it with us, Mikkos.
You'll never regret cooperating with my plans. Of course, we'll rule the civilized world, but we'll also benefit the sick and the poor. Please, let me show you into the control room.
And while terribly unseasonable weather continues to hit Port Charles, the rest of the state is basking in pleasant temperatures. Local hospitals are reporting increased admissions due to infections from the sudden weather change.
Don't be alarmed, Max. The people who become ill as a result of the change in the weather are the same people, exactly the same, who would have become ill in October. It's a natural course of events.
Let's just hope we'll have the cooperation you need from Valentine, and this can all come to an end.
Yes, I don't like the sound of sick people.
I assure you I have no intention of touching that lever and lowering the temperature in Port Charles. Now, Max, would you like to see the plan first and then call your people?
Yes, I think that's how we should proceed.
Excellent. Then come along with me.
All right.
And Noel, speaking of sickness, it may well be a thing of the past.
You mean we'll live forever?
Why not? After you, my dear. Oh, Max, I'm so sorry. I'll join you in just a moment. I seem to have forgotten the keys to the laboratories.